Thank you all for being here and participating in my public speaking presentation. I will be giving an informative speech on the use of seatbelts. Without getting into the demographic of which race or gender is more or less likely to wear seatbelts, it should be noted that of the fatalities from car crashes among young adults, 55% of those from drivers or passengers came from drivers or passengers that were not wearing seatbelts. Less than 2 months ago, a car crash occurred near Athens, Georgia that involved 5 PGA students. I had the pleasure of knowing one person from the vehicle, Brittany, who was also the big of my girlfriend in the sorority they were both in, and the family of another member of the car, Hallie, that she had grown up with and continued to be close with up until Hallie's death the same night as the accident. Without taking anything away from the tragedy that occurred that night, one member of the car, Christina, was not wearing a seatbelt and was ejected from the car upon impact from the accident. She did not have the same chance that the 4 other girls did when they were rushed to the hospital that night. So without doubting the impact that seatbelts can improve your driving or prevent accidents, it can have an insurmountable impact on the injuries sustained if a car accident was to occur. Young drivers who are already the most susceptible to car accidents are among those commonly concerned about wearing seatbelts and the stigma of being an overly protective driver. Even adults can be forgetful to use seatbelts every time they drive. It can seem as though it is not imperative every single time you are just driving down the street to use a seatbelt, although 80% of fatal traffic accidents happen within 25 miles of the home. According to information from the National Highway Safety Administration, motor vehicle crashes are the leading cause of death among young adults, and again, more than half of those fatal accidents occurred to those who were not using their seatbelt. This is not to say that people are more likely to get in an accident because they're unbuckled, but it should convey how much more severe those accidents become. Seatbelts offer more protection than just airbags in the event of an accident and can prevent from falling or being forced out of a car during the crash. Police officers have been instructed to specifically look out for examples of people not wearing their seatbelt and to find them. Really, because that is the only way states can enforce strategies beyond education to reduce motor vehicle injuries. A study completed by the CDC showed that in 2010, after an increased number of states began using primary enforcement, when an officer can pull over a driver solely because they are not wearing a seatbelt, it increased the amount of seatbelt use by almost 10% of all drivers and passengers. So when people are critical of a police officer's job to specifically look for instances of people unbuckled, it really does make a difference. Now, I'm not here trying to persuade you to support traffic cops and tip them on top of a $25 seatbelt fine, or to purchase any Shark Tank-esque items to monitor the use of seatbelts in a car. But I am trying to shed light on the subject of safety involved in those cases. I would hate for an accident, especially one involving anyone in this room, to escalate further than it needs to because someone forgets or decision is not made to buckle up. Thank you.